So what we're doing here, the idea is to be really inviting the one who knows the truth, the wise one, the Buddha within, the one that already is, and also where you are right now, not just like, oh, 5 years ago I had, knowing and I can recall that. It's just an invitation to meet each other and what it is that we do know, what our experience is, and not needing anything from any wisdom in return or anything fixed or answered or something. And I said it's fluid. It's like something that might be shared now, next week might be totally different, and so I really feel everyone taking everyone in. I really welcome that and honor that. Because we really are an invitation to each other in our lives, to everyone you meet. For beingness to be evoked. And not like, it should look like this. It could look like pain, It could look like I'm exploring this. It could look like just diving into the mystery. It's just so many shores. There's a lot of talk right now, which I love and embrace on the planet all over, of multiculturalism and just, really needing and going deeply into what creates division, right? Politically, with in so many ways, with each other. And it's meant to. I think this is a real time for things to be shaken up so that we can really see how it is we hold each other in separation. This economics and color of the skin and sexual proclivity, all this stuff, right? I mean, it's just one world family, one family. If we could see each other as one family, we're going to be treating each other and the world and all its creatures, right? We need to bring in how we relate to creatures and to planet too in the conversation, right? To me, it's a spiritual movement, political movement. It can be one environmental movement, social movement, right? It's what unifies us, and our humanity unifies us, and the fact that what we are is unbound spirit unifies us, right? Both unifies us. We are, how much more connected can we be? So I think that it's important to invite one another to in our own raw authenticity and to listen deeply to one another. Not only to the spiritual teachers out there or the ones that you think are wise in any context, but yourself, each other. We all have wisdom, I mean it. And if we invite it forward with each other, it's like a child that can come out of hiding, Really, you want to hear and see me? Yeah, you. Take a turn, sit on the seat, the hot seat. And I know that it's not the end of the story. What you're sharing, what I share, I'm changing. We're all changing, deepening and growing, and it's like life presents a sliver of reality. It opens a door, right? And we enter that door and we just live it and breathe it for a while and dance around or whatever, or just sink down on the ground with our head on the earth and say, I can't move right now, or I need to be quiet, or I'm in total celebration of our oneness. There's like all these different facets of the gem that reality gives itself a moment to behold and to experience. And then you go, oh wow, there's other facets going on here. And you get to enter that room and live and breathe that room. And for a while, that's the full truth, right? And when we meet each other, we're getting these little sliver of facets. And if we say, oh, they've got more of a grasp than I do, or we're denying what it is that we're learning and gaining, understanding and occupying. And something I think Michael said something about nerve endings of, the whole, or cells are like cells of the whole. And just because someone might be in a real time of, and give yourself fully to whatever it is you're experiencing, because there might be a time to really, really deeply know what suffering or pain is. How's any transmutation or understanding going to happen if we don't give it to ourselves? If we're like, oh, that's, too much, or that's not spiritual. All the books, none of them say anything about diving into suffering. Well, some may. But it's not about getting lost there. I mean, even the Buddha sat through it. You sit through it, Christ, those teachings, sit through it. And then it's like it becomes your friend. It's yourself. Wait a minute, this is my own self I'm getting to know. It's not like me and that, me and suffering, as if it's evil. No, just feel it. Sensation, pain. And then dancing happens even in the room of suffering. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. In the world, here we are together in moments of bliss, right? Bird singing can transport you for a moment. Yeah. Mama deer, I saw Mama deer yesterday with her little baby, tiny, tiny baby, walking through the yard. And Mama deer has an infection. I've seen her before on her face. And, I can feel like, the pull of life to nurture and give a chance to this little deer so it can get on its feet in case the body does go, right? That body, I don't think this is mental in her mind, but you can feel that. You can feel the life force supporting new life. So yeah, I just want to keep inviting you all to, and whoever wants to still go today, to share. And you can even do an exchange with a friend or something, someone you really trust deeply, to listen, who knows how to listen, and say, can you listen for a little while and trade off? I have a friend whose husband said to her a while back, many years ago, speak to me as if you are a wise teacher who knows something. And so she started to do that, and you won't believe what happened. Now she does this kind of almost like speaking thing. It's kind of changed over time, but for a while she was like She called it the voice. Well, the voices was herself all along, but it went deeper and deeper and deeper where she was like accessing truth, because she got someone gave her permission. And you guys are giving me permission. I mean, are you aware of that? By being here with me? And that's what I mean in the very beginning of this call. I said something about responsibility. It pulls out real soberness. I think the time, I mean, not that teachers are not needed and welcomed and gurus and all that stuff, because I have my love affair with certain teachers, trust me. So grateful for, so grateful for. But they don't see us as separate from them, let me tell you. We are an aspect of them, they are an aspect of us. It's more like love, like you want to see all of you on board. So something that is confused or something, you just bring your love, surround it with love, and let it alchemize that which is confused, right? We're meant to be a circle. Not a pyramid, a circle. So a little bit of time left if anyone else wants to go, and I don't expect it. I don't want to make someone feel, one person in particular, feel self-conscious if you don't want to go. You do? Do you want to go? Yeah? Speak.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you? You disappeared. There you are.
There I am.
Hi.
Hello. I've enjoyed listening to everyone's input. I've really felt that listening to everyone has kind of been like, if you can, let's say, refer to yourself as a piano, I feel like everyone's speaking from different octaves or from different notes, and I find I resonate with so many of them, and it's so beautiful how many different rooms of experience there are and different perspectives. And I find that my mind will sometimes cling to one over the other and say that this is how truth is delivered and this is what truth is. And then I'll hear the next verse and I'll say, no, this is it. And I'll find that, when it comes my turn to speak, that there's this tendency to attempt to convey truth in a certain way, but that's almost hilarious to even think about, or to hold on to that idea. And there's a sense of, do I speak from a more personal place, or do I speak from a more, I guess you could say, transcendent place? But really, I find that all of these are kind of ways that the mind is still trying to control and get its own, to control and get a certain reaction. When in reality, truth isn't really, it's not a cause and effect thing. It's not, you don't, well, in a sense, you can hear someone speak and the truth resonates, but it's not so linear or in time. It's, I think once you see what the truth is, the words kind of burn up. I heard once a teacher speak about how any great teaching, I'm paraphrasing, but any great teaching burns itself up in the end. So the words as they're being spoken are simultaneously burning themselves up. And I think that was one of the most profound notions regarding truth. Mm. And yeah, from a very, I guess what's coming up right now from a very human, I guess, place. I just want to take the time to express my gratitude and love for this particular experience and this moment in time, or this moment out of time, and for all of you. And it's been a pleasure as my first time here to listen to you all speak and to really, I guess, indulge in the separateness in a way where there's still this non-conceptual experience of togetherness and me being able to see myself in all of you and vice versa. And I think now more than ever on Earth, we really need that sense of connection beyond concepts, because the concept is too fragile and it doesn't, it really is very limited. So thank you. Thanks for your guys' beingness.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you here.
You as well. Thank you.
Isn't it amazing how everyone who shares it afterwards, there's this feeling, like a unique, like, I don't know, just like a gift has been given. Yeah. Thank you so much for this co-creation. And then we get to all be bearing the responsibility together. Co-creating something. Participating. What does true participation mean? Yeah? Doesn't it feel good to participate? You're called forth. We're being called forth. I want to hear from you. I want to know who you are. You know, so much of spirituality and what we can take in is denying. We're also, there's a time to be called forth. And have beingness speak, beingness move. And the mind doesn't need to be in charge. Yeah. So, how are we doing on time? A little early still, but we're not as big a group as last time, so maybe we'll end a little bit earlier. Let's see if anything else wants to come here. You know, I thought about, yeah,
We can always just decide we want more and say, more please, and just let go, kind of letting go all over for the benefit of everyone at once. And we see what happens in a minute.
you mean unmute everybody and see what we want? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do that. I'm going to unmute everybody. Might be like, what do you want?
we want more, so we just let go together.
We
And
gotta
feel what happens.
We got to vote to stay in the EU. We got to vote.
And
Oh.
But who else wants more? Not just of me, but just more. Raise your finger if you want more, and it's not right or wrong. 1, 2, 3. Oh, lots of digits. So I got 1, 2, 3, and then you got 1, 2, 3 who are not saying anything. Cool. I love that. Okay, isn't that cool?
It contradicts the concept, you know, of not wanting more. And that's what makes it so rich. Because the more is, for me, is the more is always wanting more of that. It's like you can't get enough of it.
That's sweet. Well, hey, what? Let's dive in with all you got to it all. Just dive in and
Yeah.
full on under the water and just party. There's no reason to hold back from wanting more. Really, seriously, give it all to yourself. Oh,
that's how we ended up in this fix together.
yeah. That's how we ended up here, wanting more. In every way, including being born, right? Yeah. But might as well, like, fully give it to yourself. You know, let's see what happens. It's the mind that wants to control it, you know, like how much is what we should get, how much we should control, and what we don't want, and what is, you know, too much. And if it's too much, you can always sign off and say goodbye, but we're still here.
Yeah.
We're still here. Isn't the Ram Dass said something like "still here" or something? Still here.
Be here.
He said "be here," but then later he said,
Oh, you let us, yeah, still, yeah.
especially after the stroke, still here. You know. I don't know. I'll mute for just a second. And if anyone wants to go, I trust that you'll take care of yourself. And yeah, I just noticed where I've held back in myself in the past, not so much anymore, for my own delight in being, bliss, non joy. Just conversely, the opposite is holding back from pain and suffering. I mean, the polarities of life. So you hold back from feeling, the grief of the world or whatever it is, all that. And and conversely, you hold back. One holds back. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. I'm sorry. So it's kind of like heaven and hell. Imagination of that. There's, the very tantric way of deeply enter into experience and just getting lost there. I'm contemplating that, just getting lost in experience. Because there's something always that's not lost. And then that gets to discover what is never lost. Never ever lost. But if there's this like holding back, I'm afraid of diving into experience because I'm afraid of being lost, then there's going to be a duality being played out. Separation is going to play itself out. But just at some point, you just throw in the towel. Oh, I'm going to experience this, whatever it is in polarity of life. And then you can dance, you can sing, you can pray, you can be on the ground, suffering, feeling suffering, not suffering per se, whatever that is, but feeling. Entering into experience is just entering into experience. We're the ones that create the hierarchy in our minds that one is good and one's not good, blah, blah, blah. But if you deeply enter into experience of any kind, you see something different. And I'm sure you've experienced that. I felt bliss in suffering and grief. I've had some. I have a picture behind me, I can't show you, of my brother who died. I've joined the human race of knowing what suffering is in many ways over time. I'm not going to go into denial that exists. I'm going to give it its credit, its due. But what else is going on? Oh, there's so much more going on. And we're beings that contain the whole. So simultaneous to suffering, or simultaneous to joy and bliss, simultaneous to resistance. What else is going on? Our bodies are that big. They're the whole world. Our bodies contain the whole world inside. Life and death. So I totally support not holding back. You're just holding back from yourself is all I can say if you hold back. And a lot of fear is going on around. In many ways, it plays itself out, including spirituality and non-dual conceptual world that you're not supposed to open yourself up to experience. I don't care what people say. To me, that's fear playing itself out. I am not going to deny here anybody's experience. I think that's unkind. But then something else opens up when we don't deny. Yeah. Do you want to say something?
Yes. Well, when you brought this up about the experience and about the being truly oneself. For me, it has been, my path has been so tantric, and it has been so dipping myself deeply into experience, whatever is the experience, whether it's joyful or full of suffering, it doesn't matter, you know. And this had opened doors within myself for crazy wisdom to come through. And I have noticed that the more this comes, the more people are afraid to be with me. So, which causes me sometimes to back off from this, which I don't want to back off from this, because backing off from this is causing me to suffer. Because this form and this personality and this path of my life and experiences has chosen to the crazy way of life, for truth to appear as crazy, as unexpected, as sometimes even manipulative, you know, to get to the root of something, to use loops to get to somewhere instead of using the direct cut through, using the snake way, using the Mother Kundalini way, using the Divine Mother ways, not just in her saintly appearance, but in her dark appearance, which is the Black Mother, which I call the Divine Black Mother. She could appear in a very, which is Kali, and which is the dark face of the divine. And maybe this is due to the experiences of my life has connected to me to this dark divine aspect, which comes in a very, very tantric way, which is very sensual, which is very sexual, which is very, sometimes very aggressive. And for the culture where I live in, this causes me to hold back, because we have this series of people being killed for this wisdom, you know, being people who are being tortured for this wisdom, you know. And there's still this fear within me that I want to bring this wild, massive truth that doesn't care about what's going to happen, even if this body is going to be tortured, cut off, whatever is going to happen. But I know that this is how the wisdom is, or truth is choosing to manifest through this form. It's about the crazy love that doesn't see but love, and it wants to eat, breathe, smell, see love. Not just the beautiful, blissful love, but the dark, ecstatic love, which just swallows and devours everything, regardless of what's in front of it. So this is my experience of truth within myself.
Mm-hmm. You bit deep.
What?
You bit deeply into the apple.
Yes. Open Pandora's box, you know.
I like that about you. I'll dance in the street with you, Faisal.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
We'll talk some more about that when we connect, but yes. I love that about you, and I recognize that it's really goes counter to a lot of what's going on in your culture and your world.
Right.
It takes a lot of courage to be oneself, doesn't it?
Massive courage.
Massive courage, whether it's a quiet voice or a more passionate voice. It takes a massive amount of courage to be oneself.
Right, yeah.
You're right. There comes a time where we start to feel like we're the ones on the cross. And, I mean, it's a collective thing, too. A collective
yes.
That we go through this place. I went through it, too. I'm going to be killed.
Yeah.
You know, it's some kind of weird passage, you know, a desert passage of just like, I'm going to be killed for this. How odd that comes up collectively for many of us.
Right, right.
Mm.
And torture and all of these loops, you know, which are engraved of the collective past consciousness of people being themselves fully. And the funny thing, you know, I'm gonna say this out loud, you know, I am come from a background, a Muslim background, in a country which outlaws being gay, and I'm gay, you know. So part of me is my sexuality is gay, and I'm afraid to be myself in that aspect, because if I get caught here, I will be put in jail, you know. And the funny thing is that all the things that are outlawed exist in me, you know. It's like as if I have come to challenge all of these aspects of the society. And that's a massive, sometimes I feel that this is a massive burden on my shoulders, because, you know, here in this part of the world, there is no human rights, there is no whatever, you know. And yet, on some level, it's fine. It's fine. But still, I want to be out fully, like my true self. I'm not talking about being gay. That's just a small aspect of myself. But being truly, fully myself, doing a crazy thing, maybe in the street, maybe going to someone, slap him in the face to wake him up for something. Sometimes I feel this pull, but I'm afraid to do it, you know, because there is consequences for this. Or just say something very rude to someone. But I know this rude thing will do something. It's not coming out of ego, it's coming out of truth, you know. But still holding these things is like holding into fire in your hands, and you cannot just let them out to the, you know.
Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we just outrageous, like a child, a tantrum or something, or some kind of statement, you know, in the world. I am not going to behave anymore. I'm not going to behave, because, see, those are boxes.
Right.
And truth is free of boxes. It wants to liberate itself from all boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And because others are yourself, you feel that. And it's just like this tension builds, you know. I just want to be myself. You know. I totally understand.
And you know, one thing puts me off sometimes with teachers or spiritual teachers, that they pretend that the divine doesn't get angry or doesn't get furious or doesn't get wild or crazy. They suppress this part and they want to appear as just kind and sweet and gentle. And this makes me more angry, you know?
Sure.
I mean, come on, drop this and be yourself. Be fully yourself. Get angry, get sad, get frustrated, get it all to the maximum. Why not? I mean, the divine has created all these emotions. Why do you want to suppress these things? Get angry, get furious, go wild, go have sex, do it all. You know?
Sure, great.
Yeah.
The world is ready for you. That's all I can say. Maybe not where you are exactly, but yeah. I agree with you, and you're right. I mean, obviously, those are aspects of the divine. They wouldn't be here.
Right.
So there's no denying on that level. When we open ourselves up to the one, knowing ourselves as the one, how can you deny any aspect of that?
Right.
That's just ridiculous. That's going back to sleep.
Exactly.
So, and then once permission's been given, it's interesting what happens.
Mm.
You know, when permission's really been fully given here, you know. That's why it's really good to have someone listen and because we need other too. We need reflection. We need each other.
Yes.
It's very solo, very lonely otherwise.
Yes, yes.
Really happy.
And I find that, yeah, go ahead. I find that the best of us comes out when we interact, when this magical interaction between souls rub with each other, then magic happens and explosions of truth comes out and flows through us.
Yeah.
And I find it beautiful to interact. You know, I just cannot sit with someone and say something, let's say, from the divine if they don't trigger me in some way, you know, to pull out of me what's divine. You know, it's just hides. It's like the divine is so subtle that it hides. It needs someone to provoke it to come out of you, you know?
Yeah.
This is how I feel.
Yeah. Well, and then the world needs us, needs you to be yourself. We're really, really needed. Your voice is needed, and you being provoked out is needed. And then someone else gets provoked out as a result.
True.
Because being hidden is a real missed opportunity. Remaining hidden is a missed opportunity for the mystery. It wants to be coaxed out. You know, like a little. Have you ever made friends with like a stray cat or something?
Oh, yeah.
Little by little, you know, it gets coaxed out, and oh my God, the relationship that can develop, and the sweetness, and the coming out of hiding that happens, you know?
Right.
Something new gets born. Yeah. So we're coaxing each other out here.
Yes. And this is the most beautiful thing, because when a teacher just speaks and doesn't allow the reflection speaks, then I feel that there is suppression. There is just a pyramid energy, where I'm on the top and everyone is down, which you said, which I believe in all my life, the circular movement.
Mm-hmm.
It has to hit all people in the circular movement, and everyone will just, you know, explode in their own unique way. And we all drink from that explosion.
I feel like we're drinking from that explosion right now. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Are we all drinking from that explosion? Oh, well. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we had this last bit of time that Rich invited for us to continue.
I want to say, also, I just want to say thank you for opening yourself up in this meeting. I really appreciated it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Shar, did you want to?
Not even my culture accepts crazy wisdom, and I love it. I would be swinging from the treetops if I had my way around here. And yes, I would love to slap people in the face and wake them up. And yes, I'd like to tell them rude jokes, dirty jokes, swear at them, whatever, just to wake them up. But, you know, it's taking that step, dare I? And I feel day by day I'm getting closer. I'm warming up to it. So, yeah, crazy wisdom's a hard one for many people. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for that openness. And just as a final note, I'll share the poem I wrote as well. The canvas. The canvas has no paint. Take time to fill that space. Fill with colour or black alone. Your space it is. Create clouds and a river in flow. Choices are many. What is it you feel? Once completed, stand back, admire the life, and know this, beyond the colour, that canvas remains clear, untouched, and filled with those colours.
So, yeah, I definitely have recognized you and Faisal as kindred spirits, knowing you as I do. Yeah, thank you. Well, in 2 weeks, I'll be doing this again. We'll be doing this again, whoever wants to join in. And it's going to be different each time, just so you know. It's just all spontaneous. And really loved coming together with you guys. I feel really nourished, and that says to me that's something really wonderful for me to get inspired. And I feel it in my belly, feel it in my heart, I feel it in here, I feel it everywhere. Let me see. My feet coming along, my feet are coming along with it. So, inviting you all to feel into yourselves and feel into your day. Feel yourself manifesting yourself in your life, in your day, like appearing. Let yourself appear. I think if this meeting is really about anything, is welcoming the appearance of you, of ourselves here together. You know, the Buddha as the Sangha kind of thing. Okay?
Yep.
And I accept the totality of your spontaneous power that lets you all the way in.
Yes, the power of the whole Sangha. You kind of faded in and out, but yeah. Okay, any last word? All right. Namaste, everybody. Honoring the light within you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.